Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Welcome back to J is for Justice. I can hardly wait to go live to share this information with you guys. So the Kohberger, Pennsylvania warrants have been released, and we've got them in our hot little hands, and we're going to go through them. I haven't read through them all. So I want to welcome everyone to chat. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Cheryl. You've got Cheryl, you got HJ, you've got Streamlabs, and you've got Angie B. Are your moderators today. We've got Melissa B, Olive Juice, Mandy Joe, Audra D. We've got some Roberters in the house. Welcome, guys. Thanks for tearing away from Roro for a little bit.
Roro causing Pawpaw.
Roro. Who was Roro?
I know that the Murdaugh trial is getting intense, so thank you guys for tuning in. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get right into it. Welcome to chat. If you guys could give this a like, I'd appreciate it. Let's do this. So we've got County of Monroe, application for search warrant and authorization. Can you guys see that okay? Let me know. I'm not going to be staring at chat, but let me know. Okay, so we have docket number, police incident number. We've got Justin Leary and Bryan Knoll as the troopers for the Pennsylvania State Police. And then it says, identify items to be searched for and seized, any and all items listed on the continuation page. This was signed on December the 29th, 2022 by Susan DeBeer, Senior Deputy. So here is the premises to be searched. These are the deets for where they're supposed to go. Okay. 119 Lambsden Drive, Chestnut Hill Township, Monroe County. A single family residence with white siding, tan windows is located at the rear of the tan foundation and dark colored shutters. Jay, slow down. An attached garage is located on side B. A small shed with a door and windows is located at the rear of the property, along with all curtilage of property. Name of owner, possessor of said premises to be searched: Michael Kohberger, Marianne Kohberger, and Bryan C. Kohberger, for a violation of criminal homicide. The date of the violation says 11/13 of 2022. I like that, Isla. Put your DNA on the like button right now. Warrant application approved by District Attorney M. Mancow. I think that's what it says. All right, so going down, we have the warrant was served as soon as practical and any time no later than 4. Whoa. My phone literally just started playing my video. What the hell was that? It doesn't mean his name was on the house. It says name of owner, occupant. So whoever's occupying it. So like if someone else was there, they probably would have been listed, I think. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I think that's how it would work. If you're in the house, they want to know everybody who's in there. HJ wants to know if size 13 shoe is normal, is average. I think it's large for a man. But my ex-husband wore a 13 or a 12. 13's large.
Roro causing Pawpaw. I mean, that's
Roro.
not,
Who was Roro?
All right, so the next page is return of service and inventory. The date of the search is 12/30 of 2022 at 1:25 a.m. So it doesn't look like they went in there at 3 a.m. like it was reported, right? Remember? They said 3 a.m. and we were like, oh, woohoo, he got the surprise attack at 3 a.m. Looks like it was about 1:25 a.m. I wonder if they were awake. Property seized, it says yes. Date of return is 1/9/2023. Time of return, 1,500 hours. So that would be 3 o'clock, I think, 3 o'clock p.m. Can't read the name. It says FBI did the search. So we're going to read through this. This is all really fine print. Let me get my spectacles. Your son wears a size 15? Holy. That is one big shoe. That is what I call a boat. A size 15 shoe. I call that a boat.
3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour.
Hello, Jamie M. And hello, Tracy V. All right, we're going to read this small print here. Let me make it bigger for you guys so you can read along. Okay, there we go. Now it says Part A, search warrants. Approval of search warrant application by attorney for the Commonwealth local option. And then it says person to serve warrant. A search warrant shall be served by a law enforcement officer. Each search warrant shall be signed by the issuing authority and shall specify time and date, identify specifically the property to be seized, name or describe with particularity the person or place to be searched, direct that the search be executed either A, within a specific period of time, not to exceed 2 days. So these are the instructions on the warrant, on serving the warrant, and how all of this needs to go in the state of Pennsylvania. So I don't think we need to read all of these lines. They're just saying basically, we want to know what you're going in there for, what you want to retrieve, and then when you're done, we want to know what you got. So we're going to fast forward to the receipt. So this is the receipt of inventory or seized property, 12/30/22, approximately 1:25 a.m. The following property was taken, seized, and a copy of this receipt with a copy of the search warrant and affidavit was personally served on Bryan C. Kohberger. So they served this on Bryan. And then you'll see down here the FBI agent, Michael, whatever, wrote that. And then down here is the United States Department of Justice FBI receipt for property. Bryan C. Kohberger, 119 Lambsden Drive, Albrightsville, PA, 18210. Description of items. Here we go. Items collected or seized. 1. Defiant silver flashlight. 2. 4 medical style gloves. Okay, so number 1 is 1 Defiant silver flashlight. So number 2 is 4 medical style gloves. Number 3, a white Arizona Jeans Company large t-shirt. Number 4, Champion WSU Cougars large black sweatshirt. 5, pair of black and white size 13 Nike shoes. 6, pair of black Under Armour socks. 7, Under Armour black large shorts. 8, Under Armour black boxers large. 9, 1 buckle swab. Nothing follows, and then that is the end. And you look down here, it says Bryan Kohberger, he signed and printed. So how does that go? Like, do they break in and they be like, hey, can you sign this? That is all they got in Pennsylvania, apparently. Excuse me. That's it. No knives, no laptops, no phones are listed on here. So let's keep going, though, because we're not done yet. We're not done yet. And if you notice, too, they said Nike shoes, size 13 Nikes. So I certainly hope that the Vans style diamond print is a size 13. Do you guys think it will be? I don't know about the car. Let's keep going because there's lots more where this came from, okay? This is the search application for search warrant and authorization. This is the same thing we looked at up top. Bryan Kohberger, date of birth 11/21 of 94. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Let me make this bigger again. Sylvia, welcome to the family. Thank you for joining. Okay, so this is where they had to list what they were wanting. Any and all of the following, which may be found on his person. Blood or other bodily fluids or materials and items with blood or other bodily fluids or materials on, in, or near them. Knives, sheaths, or other weapons or instrumentalities of injury or death, and sales receipts or documentation for purchases or acquisition of such items. Documents, records, medications, drugs, other substances, prescription or otherwise, bottles, labels, syringes, packaging, and other items associated with medications, drugs, or other substances, prescription or otherwise, that could relate to physical or mental states of assailants or victims, or relating to or containing information indicating, suggesting, or otherwise evidencing violence, a physical attack, a fight, a motive, hostility, for any of the same. Any property belonging to Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, Bethany Funk, and or Dylan Mortensen. Now notice,
Murder.
Dylan is mentioned and so is Bethany.
Murder.
That's right, Brian Hoffman. Give me that sample. All right. Documents, records, data, compilations related to 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, and or Ethan, Kaylee, Xana, Madison, Bethany, or Dylan. Those two roommates are not excluded from this. You notice that? Documents. Wait. Wait. Where are we? Clothing. To include, but not limited to dark shirts or pants. Masks. Shoes with a diamond pattern sole. DNA. DNA, footprints, fingerprints, fibers, animal or human hair, or other physical or trace evidence, or items bearing these relating to or containing information indicating, suggesting, or related to violence, a fight, or motive hostility for any of the same. Now wait, let's go back. Hey, Jackie. Let's read that again. DNA. So did they go in there and collect like DNA from all kinds of stuff in there? Four samples of Bryan Kohberger's DNA by buccal swabs taken from the inside of Kohberger's mouth and or whole blood samples. So did Kohberger have a choice? Or did he willingly give a buccal swab? That's what I'm wondering. Like, did they show up and say, hey, dude, we want to swab the inside of your mouth? And he said, okay. I wonder. I mean, could they have redacted some of this? Sure. I don't see anything redacted off these pages, though. Okay, so he had to. We need some music. Where is his phone? Yeah, good question. Okay, let's keep reading. Alcoholic beverages, other intoxicants, and any containers or receipts for the same. Drawing music. What kind of music do you play when you read something like this? What kind of music do you play when you're reading this? Data compilations relating to or containing information indicating, suggesting, or related to violence, stabbing, a fight, or motive hostility for any of the same, to include without limitation ledgers, papers, lists, books, notes, letters, calendars, diaries, tapes, photographs, videos, or other media or similar documents or items, computer and communications devices capable of storing electronic data, other electronic storage devices and media, and access to contents of all of the above. Okay, wait. We need to talk about this. Jaws. Okay, so let's talk about this. We didn't see a phone listed, but we know that his dad had a phone on his lap in the car, right? Yeah, I apologize if it's blurry. I mean, it's as good as it's going to get. This is directly from the PDF, so let me see if I can't make it a little bit bigger. It's odd that he'd be wearing a Washington sweatshirt. So do we think that's what he had on, like he was wearing? But what about like all his luggage and stuff? It's okay if you can't see it. I'm reading it line for line. Okay, let's go on. DNA, or wait, where were we? Data compilations. So his dad's phone, there was no papers in that house. There was no letters. There was no storage devices. I mean, there was nothing violent on anyone's phone. I don't believe that because they think everybody, even people who don't want it, get violent stuff on their phones. Okay, so let's keep going. Whatever. Okay. All electronic devices, including all communications content, including email, text, SMS, MMS, or app chats, applications, cloud storage, notes, or voicemail, including attachments, source and destination addresses, time and date information, connection logs, images, and other records, including ownership, possession, or control of such communication or information found, all location data for above, which may be stored in GPS locations or cell tower connection data, including metadata of photos or social networking posts, Wi-Fi logs, and data associated with installed applications. All photographic, video, audio data, and associated metadata, all internet history for the above, including cookies, bookmarks, web history, and search terms, all stored IP addresses associated, all financial information related to the above, ownership and control for the data and cellular device, such as device ID and settings, address, book, contacts, social network posts, updates, and tags, Wi-Fi network tables associated with wireless devices, Wi-Fi networks, or Bluetooth, associated connected devices, backup devices, and stored passwords or user dictionaries. Oh my gosh. Oh, Christopher, good catch. Any and all of the following which may be found on his person. Yes, that's what it says. Okay, so then this page is another application page with the same information as above. And then here is a continuation. The person of Bryan C. Kohberger, date of birth 11/21/94. Blood or bodily fluids or materials and items with blood or bodily fluids or materials on, in, or near them. Knives, sheaths, other weapons, and this is all the same. This is the same list. Let's see. Not all of it is the same. The drugs, the property belonging to the victims and the roommates, the clothing, the DNA, the buccal swabs, the alcohol, the data, the electronic storage devices, and then down here, the very bottom is one added thing. All vehicles in which Kohberger has access to, including but not limited a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with the VIN number 5NP-DH4A E6FH579860. That is the white Hyundai, they say. Now here is our affidavit of probable cause. Your affiant is Trooper Justin M. Leary of the Pennsylvania State Police, Stroudsburg Station Criminal Investigation Unit. Since 2009, I have served as a detective for the Lackawanna County District Attorney's Office, a special agent with the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General, a task force officer with the FBI, and currently as a trooper with the Pennsylvania State Police, Troop N, Vice Unit. Throughout my career, I have conducted hundreds of criminal investigations, including numerous homicide investigations. Your affiant is Trooper Bryan V. Knoll, the Pennsylvania State Police Troop N Criminal Investigation Assessments Officer. I have been employed with the Pennsylvania State Police since 2008 and assigned as a criminal investigator since 2012. I have been assigned as the Criminal Investigation Assessment Officer since 2019. Throughout my career, I have conducted hundreds of criminal investigations, including numerous homicide investigations. On Wednesday, December 28th, the Pennsylvania State Police was requested to assist the Moscow Police Department, Moscow, Idaho, and FBI with a homicide investigation, which occurred on Sunday, November 13th, 2022. As part of this investigation, we reviewed reports and affidavits prepared by the Moscow Police Department, establishing probable cause for issuance of search warrants related to this investigation, which are included in this affidavit of probable cause as Exhibit A. Furthermore, investigators began physical surveillance of the property and area at 119 Lambsden Drive, Chestnut Hill Township, in the early morning hours of Tuesday, December 27th. And we observed Bryan Kohberger walking near this residence. Additionally, Kohberger's vehicle was observed entering the Indian Mountain Lakes development on December 16th, 2022, and the vehicle is still believed to be on the premises. Investigators are also monitoring Kohberger's cellular phone, which appears to be in the same vicinity of this residence. On Wednesday, December 28th, while conducting surveillance, investigators observed Kohberger traveling throughout Monroe County and arriving back at his residence on Lambsden Drive. Based upon this, your affiants believe that Kohberger is located inside this residence and is in possession of items related to this investigation. Your affiants are requesting a search warrant be issued for the search and seizure of all items listed in the items to be searched, along with forensic processing of all items. Your affiants are requesting all digital devices seized and forensically examined in a controlled environment at some future date and until examinations are complete. Additionally, based upon the serious and violent nature of these crimes, including risk of general public's safety, your affiants are requesting a nighttime search warrant be issued to execute this search warrant at any time and the affidavit of probable cause be sealed. Exhibit A is the statement of Brett Payne. And we've all read this, so I don't really think we need to read it again. But this is what they sent over, was the probable cause from Moscow. Now, the only thing that's different in this is that there's one part that's not redacted. Well, number one, they didn't redact the roommates. Okay. As part of the investigation, numerous interviews were conducted by Moscow, Idaho State, and FBI agents. Two of the interviews included Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen. Both Funk and Mortensen were inside the King Road residence at the time of the homicides and were roommates to the victims. Funk's bedroom was located on the east side of the first floor of the King Road residence. Based on numerous interviews conducted by MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents, as well as my review of evidence, I've learned the following. Now listen to this. I did not see this before. I don't know if this was something I missed or if it was redacted on the original. You guys can definitely let me know, but I feel like I didn't see this. On the evening of November 12th, 2022, Chapin and Kernoodle are seen by Funk at the Sigma Chi House on the University of Idaho campus at 735 Nez Pierce Drive from approximately 9 until 1:45 on November 13th. Funk also estimated that at approximately 1:45 Chapin and Kernodle returned to the King Road residence. Funk also stated that Chapin did not live in the King Road residence, but was a guest of Kernodle. So I think how we read it before was maybe BF. Maybe that's just why it seems different. Gonsalves and Mogan were at a local bar. The Corner Club in Moscow. Gonsalves and Mogan, sorry I said that wrong, and can be seen on video footage at the Corner Club between 10 and 1:30. At 1:30, they can be seen at the grub truck. And then this is what wasn't redacted. Okay. This video is captured by law enforcement. It says a private party, Eric Grower, reported that he provided a ride to Gonsalves and Mogan at approximately 1:56 from downtown Moscow to the King Road residence. So we have two things here. We have Bethany Funk stating that she saw Ethan and Xana at the Sigma Chi house, or however you say that, from 9 p.m. until 1:45. And then Funk estimated that Chapin and Kernodle returned home to the King Road residence at 1:45. So when did she get home? Because it says that Funk saw them from 9 to 1:45. And then she says that they got home at 1:45. So did she get home at 1:45 too? Like, why doesn't it say they got home at the same time? Like, did they not walk home from the frat house together? Which route did they take? You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't understand. How is it that they got home at the same time? And now, speaking of this, it brings up another point that I wanted to bring up, and I don't mean to, interrupt this in the middle, but I want to show you guys this screenshot because I wanted to talk about it anyhow. But this is interesting. So it says here, and this is early on, the detectives are seeking all outside surveillance from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Notice they're not looking for anything prior to 3. Nothing prior to 3 a.m. Even though these kids were like gallivanting around at 9, why 3 to 6? So anyways, it says detectives are requesting all available videos, whether there appears to be motion and content or not. And then they list these roads: West Taylor, West Palouse River, Highway 95 South to the 2700 block of Highway 95, and then the Arboretum and Botanical, which we talked about yesterday. We talked about the Botanical where in 1991, the Iranian student was found hanging, right? So why do they want surveillance footage from that garden? The garden is located behind the president's residence. We went over that yesterday. It's a big botanical garden. And part of it's heavily wooded. So why are they wanting... That's the opposite side. It's like the opposite direction of the house. If X and E walked from the frat house to King Road, they wouldn't go anywhere near the Arboretum. I don't understand that. I'm going to pull up a map because I want to show you, and then we'll continue reading. I mean, so they were, but they're saying they were at that frat house from 9 to 1:45, and then they got home. This is what's not sitting right with me. They're saying that they were at Ethan's frat house, right? It says right here, from 9 to 1:45. Why would they think they would be, why would they need surveillance from the botanical garden? Okay, so let's just look really fast here. Okay. I'm just going to show you guys where this arboretum is. So there's the gardens, right? And then here's Walenta. Here's King Street. But here's Ethan's frat house. So the arboretum is over here. This is the Charles Houston Arboretum. So which one are they wanting, I wonder? But anyways, it's either this or this, right? And there's trails through here, but they're over here. So I'm just curious what the heck happened, or what do they think happened at these arboretums and botanical gardens? Like, why would they need that footage? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, let's get back to the warrant. What do you guys think of that? Why do you think that they would want surveillance from around there from 3 to 6 only? 3 to 6 only. Like, what is that all about? All right. So back to them being seen on the footage at the Corner Club. A private party, Eric Grower, reported he provided the ride, so they named the driver. We've never heard the driver's name before. So Pennsylvania did not. Yeah, so this is pretty specific. You guys, I'm going to map this later, but if someone wants to do it and send it to me, like West Taylor to Palouse River, Highway 95, and the Arboretum and Botanical, like make a, pin it, because it's kind of like making a circle around the residence. There's some kind of interest for them with that. I don't know what it is, but I think there's something there. Okay, so we have the name of the driver, and I'm sure he's going to be bombarded, right? We did look him up on Facebook. We saw him. He looks to be married, or has a child, or is married or something. So he was cleared immediately, though, wasn't he? I mean, pretty much. He was one of the few that was cleared very quickly. I've never seen the driver, Easy. Mortensen and Funk both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were home by 2 and asleep, or at least in their rooms, by 4. So I wonder what happened in that house from 2 to 4. One can only imagine. From 2 to 4. So everybody was home. But where was Dylan? It didn't say Dylan saw them at the frat party. Oh, knife dump. Could be. So Mortensen and Funk both made statements that indicated the occupants were home by 2, in their rooms, sleeping or in their rooms by 4. This is with the exception of Kernodle, who received a DoorDash at approximately 4. Approximately? Okay, law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information, so they're taking this guy's word for it? No, dude, I want to see your app. Like, I want to see your DoorDash app, and I want to see the time that you delivered that, because I've done DoorDash. So it does freaking, it logs what time you deliver that food to the minute. I guess they didn't think that was important.
Murder.
Yep. You have to take a picture. Hey, Carrie. We've been missing you, girl. Hey, CR. Thank you for gifting a membership to Coffee Cake. Welcome, Coffee Cake. No, because you have a driver, you have like a Dasher app, and then you have a DoorDash where you order. It's 2 different apps. Welcome, Coffee Cake.
Roberta.
So it says approximately 4 a.m., law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. So how did they find the DoorDash delivery driver without seeing like what time he delivered it? Mortensen stated that she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the 2nd floor. You know, that window that they were focusing on in all the pictures and videos we saw? She was awoken at 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Gonsalves playing with her dog. Because we always play with dogs at 4 a.m. Short time later, she heard what she thought was Gonsalves say something to the effect of, "There's someone here." A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Kernodle's phone showed this could have been Kernodle. See, this is more detailed. We didn't get that in the other one. We got, based on the fact that Kernodle was on her phone at 4:12, it could have been Kernodle. It was worded different. A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Kernodle's phone showed this could have been Kernodle, as her cell phone indicated she was likely awake and using the TikTok app at approximately 4:12 a.m. Likely awake. Mortensen stated she looked out of her bedroom but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. Mortensen stated she opened the door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Kernodle's room. Mortensen then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, quote, "It's okay. I'm going to help you." At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera picked up distorted audio of what sounded voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. A dog can be heard barking numerous times, starting at 4:17. Mortensen stated she opened the door a third time after she heard crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose, walking towards her. She described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past her as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. She locked herself in the room, and she did not recognize the male. This leads investigators to believe the murderer left the scene. The combination of her statements, reviews of forensic downloads of records from Funk and Mortensen's phone. Hear this? This is new. We didn't get this before. The combination of Mortensen's statements to law enforcement Mortensen's statements to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from Funk and Mortensen's phones, and video of a suspect video as described below. Wait, what? Wait, what? And video of a suspect. Video as described below leads investigators to believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. Hold up. We didn't hear about any videos. Did we? I don't remember hearing about any videos of the suspect. During the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second processing by the ISP forensic team by first using a presumptive blood test, then amino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of a Vans type shoe sole just outside the door of Mortensen's bedroom. This is consistent with Mortensen's statement, okay? As part of the investigation, an extensive search commonly referred to in law enforcement as a video canvas was conducted. This video canvas was to obtain any footage in the area of King Road and surrounding neighborhoods in an effort to locate the suspect or suspect vehicles traveling or leaving from the King Road residence. This video canvas resulted in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and business addresses. I have reviewed numerous videos that were collected and have had conversations with other MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained. A review of camera footage indicated that a white sedan, hereafter suspect vehicle 1, was observed traveling westbound in the 700 block of Indian Hills Drive at approximately 3:26 a.m. and westbound on Steiner at Idaho State Highway 95 at 3:28. Suspect vehicle 1 did not have a front license plate. We know all of this. So, yeah, they're calling that video on the suspect on video. Can you see him in the car? Briggs, I don't get it either. I don't know. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a fourth time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52, and then driving back westbound on King Road. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road residence, it appears to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen and King, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn and then driving eastbound again down Queen Road. How do we know? Like, that could have been the DoorDash driver. I'll tell you what, I've done DoorDash and I have driven, like, not been able to find someone's house or apartment. And if this is what we're basing, like, a murder suspect, that's a little scary. Because I've driven around plenty of neighborhoods trying to find someone's damn apartment. Suspect vehicle 1 is seen departing the area of the King Road residence at approximately 4:20 at a high rate of speed. And I've probably done that too. Like, once I finally found it and delivered it, I probably left at a high rate of speed. Suspect vehicle 1 is next observed traveling southbound on Walenta Drive. Based on my knowledge of the area and review of camera footage in the neighborhood, That does not show suspect vehicle 1 during that time frame. What? Based on my knowledge of the area and review of camera footage in the neighborhood, that does not show suspect vehicle 1 during that time frame. I believe suspect vehicle 1 likely exited the neighborhood at Palouse River Drive and Conestoga. So they're just assuming? Whatever. And this is where they boast about the forensic examiner having 35 years of law enforcement experience, but then he had the wrong suspect vehicle 1. After reviewing the numerous observances of suspect vehicle 1, the forensic examiner initially believed that suspect vehicle 1 was a 2011 and 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Upon further review, they indicated it could also be a 2011 to a 2016. As a result, investigators have been reviewing information on persons in possession of a vehicle that is an 11 through a 16. Come on.
Roberta.
Investigators were given access to video footage on the Washington State University campus. A review of that video indicated that at approximately 2:44 a.m., a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of the white Elantra, a.k.a. suspect vehicle 1, not to be misconstrued with suspect vehicle 2, was observed on WSU surveillance cameras traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street at Northeast Stadium Way. And then at 2:53, a white sedan looking like suspect vehicle 1 was on Nevada Street in Pullman, blah, blah, blah. And then at 5:25, it says it was seen at 1300 Johnson Road. The white sedan was going northbound, blah, blah, blah. And this is their depiction showing Moscow and Pullman. I'm sure Pennsylvania, could read that. Yet another. This is crazy. That same day at approximately 12:58 a.m., WSU officer Curtis Whitman was looking for white Hyundai Elantras and located at 2015 at 1630 Northeast Valley Road. Officer Whitman also ran the car and it returned to Kohberger with a Washington tag. I reviewed Kohberger's Washington State driver's license information and photograph. This license indicates he's white with a height of 6 foot and 185 pounds. Additionally, the photograph of Kohberger shows that he has bushy eyebrows. Kohberger's physical description is consistent with the description of the male Mortensen saw. What? There is no way.
What?
Come on. We are not going to have, oh my gosh. Like, can you see like Dylan taking the stand and they're like, ma'am, do you see the suspect in the courtroom today? And she's like, yes, I do. And they're like, can you describe him for us? Yeah, he's sitting over there with the bushy eyebrows. He's kind of athletic, but not too muscular. Yeah, that would be him. Oh, yeah, and he's white. Everybody in that town has bushy eyebrows. I've seen almost every person that has been on camera in that town with bushy-ass eyebrows. She's going to say, I'll never forget those eyebrows. They reminded me of caterpillars.
She said, we came home, we planted flowers on the side of the house.
I mean, come on. Yeah, let's do a lineup of bushy eyebrows. Audra D coming in hot with Bert. How would you know he was white if he was clad in black and all you could see were his brows? And he had gloves on. Hmm. I agree, Paper Chaser. How you doing? He says, no way they can depend on Dylan's testimony. I mean, she says she didn't recognize him, but hey. HJ says, breaking news. Idaho suspect not convicted on eyebrow stipulation. Grounds. We're going to need someone to pluck those eyebrows out one by one. Well, that's my question, Cheryl. Was it bright in there? Was that place lit up like the Vegas Strip, or was it dark? Heimdall, I know they all, I mean, maybe they don't trim their eyebrows out there, but there's a lot of bushy eyebrows going on. What the pluck?
Roro causing Pawpaw. I mean, that's
Roro.
not,
Who was Roro?
Further investigation, including a review of Latah County Sheriff's Deputy Corporal Duke's body cam and reports, show that on August 21st, Bryan Kohberger was detained as part of a traffic stop that occurred in Moscow by Corporal Duke. Now, Corporal Duke, I came across his dad. So Duke used to be yes, they must preserve those eyebrows. No waxing, no plucking, no trimming, none. They got to be in full force. But Duke, his name was David Duke, was the police chief. David Duke. Now, that was the guy that was the head of the KKK, but I don't know. I don't think it was their police chief, was it? Does he just have the same name? And then there's some guy that lives out there that's like I don't know, he's like a senator or he's something, and his name is his last name's Bundy. Yeah, David Duke was the head of the, listen, I don't know if, but his name was David Duke. I don't know if he's the same one, though, because everybody's saying how racist they were out there. I'm like, Corporal Duke. His name was David Duke, but it's a different David Duke. Thank you. Saints rock it all. Thank you.
Whoa, I never realized this stuff.
Yeah, you've really opened up my eyes.
You've really opened up my eyes.
For donuts.
Okay, back to the affidavit. At the time, Kohberger, who was the sole occupant, now mind you, you can look up this ticket on the Idaho court site. If you type in Kohberger, you will see that he defaulted on this. It's really weird. Okay, so when Corporal Duke pulled him over, he was driving a 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate LFZ 8649, which was going to expire on November 30th. During the stop, which was recorded via law enforcement body camera, which I got denied, Kohberger provided his phone number is 50. Here's his digits, ladies. 509-592-8458. Investigators conducted electronic database queries and learned that the 8458 number is issued by AT&T. Now, on October 14th, what? Wait, what? He got a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt. But look, that was August 21st. October 14th, Bryan Kohberger was detained? Detained? What does that mean? Upon review of that body cam and report of the stop, Kohberger was the sole occupant and driving a 2015 white Elantra with the Pennsylvania plate. So he wasn't arrested, but why would he be detained? Does that just mean pulled over? Why was he arrested? What was he doing? Maybe they do have... Why would they hold him? Hoffman, make it make sense. So on August 21st, he was detained then by Duke. And then he was detained again on October 14th. I mean, it could just mean he was pulled over. So yeah, these videos, they're not giving out. I did public records request, and those are not being released. They put me off until I think May with those. But why would you be detained for a seatbelt? You'd just be given a citation. Like, bye. He has no criminal history. So why was he pulled over? This is a copy that they got from Moscow. Pennsylvania. Did they rewrite this, I guess? On November 18th, according to Washington State licensing, Kohberger registered the 2015 white Elantra. So he did that according to the law. It was expiring on November 30th. Oh my God, Anna. One long hair appearing to be an eyebrow has been found. Prior to this, the 2015 Elantra was registered in Pennsylvania, which does not require a front plate. This was learned through communications with a Pennsylvania officer who is currently certified in the state of Pennsylvania. Based on my own experience and communication with Washington law enforcement, I know that Idaho and Washington require front and back plates. So did they just like randomly call a Pennsylvania officer and say, hey, do you guys require a front plate? Investigators believe that Kohberger is still driving the white Elantra because his vehicle was captured on December 13th by a license plate reader in Loma, Colorado. Now, this is something that I've never looked into that I'd like to take a look at. Where is Loma, Colorado? If I do like Washington University in Pullman, and then I do directions, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing in a sec. Directions to Loma, Colorado. I'm just wondering why on the 13th he would be... God, he went right through Salt Lake City. Stop. All right, hold on. Let me show you guys this map. Because I'm the map. They were looking for people who were trafficking drugs, sleeper agent. But why would they think it would be him? He's a professor. He went to eat Thai food. Okay, so on the 13th, so from Washington to Loma is 15 hours. So they had to have left on what? The 12th? Close to Grand Junction. So look, he came all the way down. He went through Boise, Twin Falls, Ogden, Salt Lake City, Provo, and then he came down and he was picked up in Loma. Now, if we look here, let's zoom in. Where would he have gone from Loma? Why can't we know where he went from Loma what was it? Hancock County, Indiana? So I'm not saying he took this route, but this is what it gives me, is going through Grand Junction, like someone just said. But look at all this. You would go through, why would you go that way? Going through all those mountains. And then go right through Denver. Because those landlords, I think, live in Littleton or Colorado Springs, somewhere around there. Somewhere in this area, I thought they were from. And they own that house. Does he know them? Like, what's the deal? So, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a... I don't know. I guess you'd have to go that way through Idaho. So he was here on the 13th. So from Loma to Hancock County where they were pulled over, it's 20 hours. So he was here on the 13th and he was here on the 15th. 2 days. Did they stop and sleep somewhere? You know, what'd they do? Where'd they go from Loma to Hancock? That's a big, I mean, you got Colorado, Kansas, Minnesota, Illinois. And then we don't hear about him until Hancock. And then we know he goes from Hancock to home. So... I'm sure it's a pretty drive, but damn, I mean, that's a long trip. Oh, Missouri. Sorry. What did I say? Mississippi. Hi, Joanne. All right, let's get back to the affidavit. Sorry, guys. I just like exploring this as I go because if I don't, I'll be doing it later anyways. By myself, so. Oops. Okay, let's get back. Where were we? Okay, Loma. Information provided by a query to a database. Kohberger's Elantra was then queried on December 15th by law enforcement in Hancock County, Indiana. On December 16th, 2022, at approximately 2:26 p.m., thank you, paperchaser.com. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. The surveillance video showed Kohberger's Elantra in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. The sole occupant of the vehicle was a white male whose description was consistent with Kohberger. So they could see him on December 16th on surveillance video. We don't know what it was. We don't know what it was for. We don't know what he was at, what residence, things like that. They're not telling us that. Kohberger has family in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, learned through a TLO search and locate tool database query. Based on information provided on the U.S.C. website, Kohberger is currently a PhD student in criminology at Washington State. So they had to get the information from the website. They couldn't get the information from Washington State. Pursuant to records provided by a member of the interview panel for Pullman Police Department, oh Lord. Pursuant to records provided by a member of the interview panel for Pullman Police, we learned that Kohberger's past education included undergraduate degrees in psychology and cloud-based forensics. These records also showed Kohberger wrote an essay when he applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall of 22. Kohberger wrote in his essay he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data in public safety operations. Kohberger also posted a Reddit survey which could be found by an open source internet search. The survey asked for participants to provide information to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision making when committing a crime. Now that could have very well been school. You know what I mean? That could have been just simply a school project. My daughter is going to school for forensic psychology. And I hope to God if she does something like this, she doesn't get pinned as a murderer. As part of this investigation, law enforcement obtained search warrants to determine cellular devices that utilized cell towers in close proximity to King Road between 3 and 5. After determining that Kohberger was associated to the White Elantra and the 8458 phone, a query of the 8458 phone in these returns did not show the 8458 phone utilizing cellular towers in close proximity to the King Road residence between 3 and 5. They can't put them there. They can't put him there. They can put a White Elantra there, but can they put him there? Exactly, coffee cake. Hi, Lala.
La, 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 la means let me finish.
Based on my training, experience, and conversations with LE that specialize in the utilization of cell phone records as part of investigations, individuals can either leave their phone or turn it off. Depending on the circumstance. Look at this. Wait. I don't remember this part. Listen. This is done by subjects in an effort to avoid alerting law enforcement that a cellular device associated with them was in a particular area when a crime is committed. I also know that on numerous occasions, subjects will surveil an area that they intend to commit a crime prior to the date of the crime. Depending on the circumstances, this could be done a few days before or several months before. During these types of surveillance, it is possible that an individual would not leave their cellular phone at a separate location or turn it off since they don't plan to commit the offense on that day. On December 23rd, I applied for and was granted a search warrant for historical phone records between November 12th and November 14th for the 8458 phone. Approximately 24 hours preceding and following the times of the homicides. On December 23rd, pursuant to that search warrant, I received records for the 8458 phone from AT&T. These records indicate that the 8458 phone is subscribed to Bryan Kohberger at an address in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, and the account has been open since June 23rd of 2022. These records are also included historical cell site location for the 8458 phone. After receiving this information, I consulted with an FBI special agent that is certified as a member of the cellular analysis survey team. Well, are they about as good as their person who has 35 years experience identifying the year and make model of a car? Yikes. That's all I got to say about that is some yikes on that.
Yikes.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell.
From information provided by CAST, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone on November 12th and 13th. So then it goes into these pings that we all know about. And then we have the routes. I think this is all the same stuff. Okay, so here it says, I don't know how they come to this conclusion. So they go through the pings. Hi, Trixie. So they go through all the pings, and then they say, investigators found that the 8458 phone did connect to a cell tower that provides service to Moscow on November 14th. But investigators do not believe the 8458 phone was in Moscow on that date. The 8458 phone is not connected to any towers that provide service to Moscow since that date. Let's listen to that again. Investigators found that the 8458 phone did connect to a cell tower on November 14th. But investigators do not believe that the phone was in Moscow. So his phone pinged, but it wasn't in Moscow. So how are we supposed to believe that all the other pings that his phone was there? They're basically like giving him all the doubt. Why? Why? I don't understand the people that say this affidavit is amazing. It's amazing. No, it isn't. All they do is give a bunch of outs for him to get off. Christopher Myrick. Yo, Jay, look at the affidavit to obtain the search warrant for his apartment. Sergeant Blaker and Payne arriving on the scene together at the same time. Yeah, I mean, have you guys heard experts saying that? This affidavit is amazing. He's looking forward to being exonerated. Yep. What's up, Heimdall? So it says here that based on my training, experience, and the facts, I believe that Kohberger, the user of the 8458 phone, was likely the driver of the white Elantra. What? Nothing in this says Kohberger. Nothing. I know it's not supposed to solve the case. I get that. Grip, aim, squeeze. I love that you brought that up because I know a lot of people think this is it. But the search warrants, I think, would be complete. I think they can't lie. I think they have to put down what they searched, what they retrieved, rather. And if his phone picked up on a ping and his phone wasn't there and they're admitting that in the PCA, how can we believe any of the other pings? No, Joanne, I have not seen that. I mean, can they withhold it and not say they're withholding any other things that they've retrieved? I don't know. I guess, but how does the defense then know what they have if they're not putting it in there? Like, how would Ann Taylor know what they found if they're not putting it all in these documents? That's what I don't understand. Yeah, I want to see what they found in the car as well, if anything. Tom Campbell says, is BK the informant? Right. Was he the informant? What's suspect vehicle number 2? Exactly. Additionally, the route of travel of the 8458 phone during the early morning hours of November 13th and the lack of the phone reporting to AT&T between 2:47 and 4:48 is consistent with Kohberger attempting to conceal his location during the quadruple homicide that occurred at the King Road residence. That is not convincing to me. On December 23rd, I was granted a search warrant for Kohberger's historical CSLI from June 23rd to 2022. And here we go. We might get more details here. To current, prospective location information, and a pen register, trap, and trace on the 8458 phone to aid in efforts to determine if Kohberger stalked any of the victims in this case prior to the offense. Conducted surveillance on the King Road residence, was in contact with any of the victims' associates before or after the alleged offense. Any locations that may contain evidence of the murders that occurred on November 13th, the location of the white Elantra, as well as the location of Kohberger. On December 23rd, I received historical records from the 8458 phone from AT&T. From the time the account was opened, after consulting with Cast SA, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from June 2022 till present, the time period authorized by the court. The records show the 8458 phone utilizing cellular resources that provide coverage to the area of 1122 King Road on at least 12 occasions prior to November 13th. All of these occasions, except for one, occurred in the late evening and early morning hours. So how do we know he wasn't door dashing for some extra cash? And not only that, I'm going to tell you that I've heard from several people who were in Moscow after the murders reporting on it that their signal was awful. That their signal was horrible. So maybe his phone wasn't getting a good signal. Can they prove that it had signal and that, I mean, I don't get it. Like they're saying, oh, he pinged off of one of the towers here, but his phone wasn't here. Yeah, he could have been buying drugs. He could have been doing anything there. Okay, so here's on one of these occasions on August 21st, which is the night they pulled him over. So why did they check that night? Because he got pulled over at 11:30 at night? I mean, so what? Thank you, Heimdall. Thank you for being here. Have a good night. And you know who's responsible for all these cops is ultimately the chief. The chief and Lanier. It goes chief, then it goes Lanier. Lanier. Okay, so on August 21st, his phone used cellular resources, providing coverage to the King Road residents from approximately 10:34 to 11:35. What if he was friends with Einen? What if he was friends with Einen and he was over there hanging out for an hour? What if he was friends with Jeremy spoke in class today? Maybe him and Jeremy were gaming. I mean, how do you know? What the hell? I mean, how does this prove he's the murderer? There were tons of people walking around in that area between 3 and 4 from what we saw. Kevin Muser, will the house of King Road be demolished before defense has had enough time to gather evidence? I think so. I think it's going to be gone. Bryan Etten just reported last night that the mediation team came in and cleaned all the biohazard. I think the DoorDash driver had a dark SUV. So he says, but they also say in the PCA, oh, there's not much traffic that goes through there. Well, we have Bryan going through there at night. We have the DoorDash coming at 4 a.m. We have an Elantra that's driving up and down the road, turning around. I mean, what are they talking about? I want to know, did they collect video surveillance from the president's residence? Because the president's residence is right around the corner from them. And it's wide ass open on Nez Perce Drive. So was anything picked up on there? Okay, so when he got pulled over, the same night he got pulled over by Duke. Well, and then we have like private drivers dropping kids off. I mean, we have Kaylee and Maddie getting dropped off by a private driver. We have a DoorDash. We have Bryan. We have Einan getting home from work. We have Jordan Sparks going to work. I mean, that's a lot of cars. And that's just the ones we know. Shit. Okay. Continuing on. Kohberger was stopped by Latah County Sheriff. So he wasn't even stopped by Pullman. He wasn't stopped by Moscow. He was stopped by the county boy, Corporal Duke. And 8548 was utilizing cellular resources consistent with the location of the traffic stop during this time. Farm Road and Pullman Highway. So they're saying, hey, it showed him at the traffic stop when we had him stopped. So it's all got to be correct. Further analysis of the cell data provided the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources on November 13th with the phone traveling from Pullman to Lewiston via Highway 195. At approximately 12:36. Wait, I thought he was in Moscow in the morning on the next day. What the I thought he drove back by there at 9 a.m. on the 13th. Did we not have that? I think that there was a lot of breadcrumbs left by him. I think the preparation for this was the biggest thing for him. And I do think he's involved. Yes, I do. Somehow. I don't know if he could be an informant. He could have been helping Ellie. I don't know. But I do definitely think he's involved. Hey, Mod Squad. Okay, so further analysis of the cell phone data showed him traveling from Pullman to Lewiston at approximately 12:36. The phone utilizes cell resources that would provide coverage to Kate's Cup of Joe coffee stand. Cellular resources. Why just Kate's? At 810 Port Drive, Clarkston, Washington. Surveillance footage from the U.S. Chef store located at 820 Port Drive and adjacent to Kate's Cup of Joe showed a white Elantra. Consistent with suspect vehicle 1, drive past Kate's Cup of Joe with the same time consistent with the cellular data. And then the 1246 at Albertsons, 400 Bridge Street in Clarkston, Washington. Interior surveillance cameras showed Kohberger walk through the store, purchase unknown items at checkout, and leave approximately 1:04 p.m. And then it shows between 5:32 and 5:36 that it was in cell coverage of Johnson, Idaho. And then it stops reporting until from 5:36 to 8:30. Based off this information, I'm seeking a search warrant for Kohberger's person and his parents' residence. It is a single-family, 2-story residence, white in color, 2-car garage located on the west side. This is the location Kohberger is believed to be at based off cellular phone data. Based off information gathered in this investigation, it is believed that Kohberger's mother, Marianne, father, Michael, and sister, Amanda, currently reside in the residence. So Amanda must not have been home because she wasn't on it. In addition, I am seeking a warrant for all outbuildings and sheds. It is also believed Kohberger's white Hyundai Elantra is stored in the 2-car garage. Based off the above facts, I'm requesting a search warrant for Bryan Kohberger's 2015 Hyundai Elantra, wherever it is found. The Hyundai Elantra is registered solely to Kohberger. Based on my experience or the experience of investigators trained in forensic technology, I provide the following. Many electronic devices, particularly new mobile devices and laptops, offer their users the ability to unlock the device through biometric features in lieu of a numeric or alphanumeric passcode or password. These biometric features include fingerprint scanners, facial recognition features, and iris recognition. Some devices offer a combination of these biometric features, and the user of such devices can select which features they would like to utilize. If a device is equipped with a fingerprint scanner, a user may enable the ability to unlock the device through their fingerprints. This is called Touch ID. We all know this. Okay. If a device is equipped with a facial recognition, a user may enable the ability to unlock the device through his or her face. On Android, it's called Trusted Face. If the device is equipped with an iris recognition feature, a user may enable the ability to unlock the device with his or her irises. Hi, potatoes. On Windows, it is called Windows Hello. Use of electronic devices often enable the aforementioned biometric features because they are considered to be a more convenient way to unlock blah, blah, blah. As is discussed in this affidavit, based on my training and experience, I believe that one or more digital devices will be found during the search. The passcode or password that would unlock the devices is not known to law enforcement. Thus, law enforcement personnel may not be able to access the data contained within the devices. I know from my training and experience, as well as from information found in publicly available materials, that biometric features will not unlock in some circumstances, even if such features are enabled. This can occur when the device has been restarted, inactive, or has not been unlocked for a certain period of time. For example, Apple devices cannot be unlocked using Touch ID when more than 48 hours has elapsed since the device was unlocked, or when the device has not been unlocked using a fingerprint for 8 hours and the passcode or password has not been entered in the last 6 days. Similarly, certain Android devices cannot be unlocked with Trusted Face if the device has remained inactive for 4 hours. Biometric features from other brands carry similar restrictions. Thus, in the event law enforcement personnel encounter a locked device equipped with biometric features, the opportunity to unlock the device through a biometric feature may exist for only a short time. In my training and experience, the person who is in possession of a device or has the device among his or her belongings is likely the user of the device. However, in my training and experience, the person may not be the only user of the device, whose physical characteristics are among those that will unlock the device for biometric features. And it is also possible that the person in whose possession the device is found is not actually a user of that device at all. Furthermore, in my training and experience, I know that in some cases it may not be possible to know with certainty who the user is of a given device, such as if the device is found in a common area. Thus, it will be likely necessary for law enforcement to have the ability to require any individual who is found at the subject premises and reasonably believed by law enforcement to be a user of a device to unlock it using the biometric features. I have not seen those yet. I did email with Subconscious Mouth Due to the foregoing, if law enforcement personnel encounter a device that is subject to seizure pursuant to this warrant and may be unlocked using one of the aforementioned biometric features, the warrant I'm applying for would permit law enforcement personnel to 1. Press or swipe the fingers, including thumbs, of any individual who is found at the subject premises and reasonably believed by law enforcement to be a user of the device, to the fingerprint scanner of the device, hold the device found at the premises, and hold the device found at the premises in front of the face of the individuals. And that is it. That's all of it. And then, so they talked about all these devices, you guys. But we go back to the beginning of the property. The property. What the hell? Where's his dad's phone? Where's his phone? Where's computers? Where's Alexa's? Where's anything? Tom Campbell, if he was detained, wouldn't it have been observed that he was wearing gloves? Well, that wasn't on the night of the murders. That was just, he was detained twice by Latah County. Amber, I agree with you. I think that our government should contract with hackers. Yeah, so just to go over with you guys what they got was a Defiant silver flashlight, which I don't even know what that is. Let's see. Oh, it's like a mag light. Dude, they sell these at Home Depot in 2-packs. What do they think he did with the flashlight? What do you guys think they think he did with this flashlight? Look. Check this out. I hope this is aluminum. Aluminum linoleum. I mean, it fucking USB plugs it. What? At least he got the silver and not the pink, the green, or the blue. Are you kidding me? Is this supposed to be like a weapon? I thought it was like a big mag flashlight that like they thought he hit someone over the head with or some shit. Are you kidding me? These like fit in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, they're loud and beefy.
This isn't even a mag light. I thought it was like a mag light. Look. They confiscated. They swatted Bryan's house and they confiscated one of these. What was he doing? Freaking hand animals on the wall? Well, I'm just wondering, like, what do they think he did with this flashlight? I mean, in all seriousness, I'm not trying to be stupid here. I'm just wondering. Do the police carry these bad boys around? I cannot. Where's the other one? I want to know the other one, Lala. Where's the other one? Because it came in a 2-pack.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell.
Do they have a video to show how it works? You guys crack me up. Look at it, $20. It's $20 he'll never get back. They're $10 flashlights. I mean, the Energizer looks a little more mean than that thing. So what about the trash? I thought they got trash. I thought that was the big story. Why did they say they had Bryan's dad's DNA if they got buccal swabs from Bryan? The other one was gifted. He could have, Lee. Hey, Ken Dalton. What's going on in the Murdaugh? I can't believe you guys took breaks from it. Well, we hope that the cops know something we don't know, because this is crazy. White Arizona Jeans Company. So he shops at J.C. Penney. Arizona Jean Company. White t-shirt. So I wonder if it was plain. Look, they have plain ones. These are all Arizona J.C. Penney. I wonder if it's just a plain white, like, Hanes t-shirt. Under Armour socks. I didn't really follow the Murdaugh trial until it started to get juicy. Then I started watching it. Now I'm, like, hooked.
Because you're a liar.
Roro causing Papa.
Roro. Who was Roro? For donuts.
Okay, so the next one is champion WSU Cougars, large black sweatshirt, and then no pants. What happened to the Dickies? Wait. Where's the Dickies clothes? He had Dickies tag. He had all this stuff. Where's the Dickies pants or Dickies whatever? Let's go back to that. Can we? Can we go back to the Washington search warrant Bryan? This is what I do because I can never find anything on my computer on PDF. And look, voila, you get it. First thing that comes up, I would still be searching. Okay, so let's take a look. I don't remember exactly what they got from Washington. Let's see. Did they ask for things of Bethany's and Dylan's in this? Okay, let's read through what they were looking for again. Seize, if located, evidence of the above listed crimes, including blood, bodily fluid, knives, sheath, sharp tools, including any dagger, dirk, sword, written indicia of ownership of same. Any images, whether, yep, they did include them, whether on paper or any format of any of the people that lived in that house, and then the surrounding neighborhood. Clothing, including but not limited to dark shirts, dark pants, masks, and shoes with a diamond pattern sole. Trace evidence, including DNA. Data compilations, it's the same as the other one is worded. Electronic devices. Evidence of other accounts associated with this device. Messaging apps. Photographs, videos. Evidence of use of the device to conduct internet searches. Relating to a review of other murders or violent assaults, stabbing or cutting of people, as well as how to avoid detections after the commission of these crimes. Would he really need to search that on the internet? Wouldn't he learn that in school? There may not be. Oh, that's what he was wearing when he was taken in. Gotcha. Thank you, Julie. But would he have, I mean, maybe he won't have any searches. And they asked for the IP logs, da-da-da. And let's get down here. Sorry, I'm just scanning this. You know what's weird, though, is that they got Bryan's dad's DNA, and that's the suspect profile, but then they took buccal swabs from him. So, on December 20th, look at it. They don't say anything about Pennsylvania in the Pennsylvania search warrant, but it says in the Washington one on December 27th that Pennsylvania recovered trash that originated from the Kohberger residence. On December 28th. Wait. In one day, they got the results? What? Hang on. Can they even do that in one day? On December 27th, they got the trash. On December... Wait, then they sent that to the Idaho State Crime Lab for testing. And then on December 28th, the Idaho State Lab reported that the DNA profile was obtained from the trash. It was compared to the suspect DNA profile. The lab personnel concluded that the source of the trash DNA was a male and was not being excluded as the biological father of the source of the suspect profile. At least 99.9998% of the male population would be excluded as being the biological father of the source of the suspect profile. One day? So they got the DNA from... Hold on. This doesn't make sense. They recovered trash in Pennsylvania, and the trash was sent to Idaho State. How did they get it there so quickly and get DNA back so quickly? How did they get the trash to the Idaho State Lab and results back the next day? How did they do that? It flew. Christopher said it went by pigeon. It went by pigeon.
Yeah, they're loud and beefy.
One night in Bangkok. One day. Wow. Weird. Okay. But they didn't have Bryan's DNA yet. They only had what was on the button of the sheath. And it matches his dad. You're not blocked, Bryan. My serpentine.
Shall we play a game?
Pigeon. I love that. That's the best comment ever. When they stopped him in August, they could have got it. But why would they need his dad's if they already had his? See, that's what doesn't make sense. If they got his DNA in August or in October during those traffic stops, why would they get his DNA, number one? Number two, why would they even need his dad's if in that case? I'm still not understanding why his dad is even included in this. Hello, potatoes. You just woke up. All right, so let's get back down here to this. This information is being provided to the court pursuant to my duty and obligation to be fully candid. I do not believe this information is exculpatory for the suspect, however, the court believes so. Whoa. But I'm specifically, why would they even say this? But I'm specifically asking the court to not consider this supplemental disclosure as evidence supporting the existence of probable cause. The reason for this request is that if the DNA test results are held inadmissible at some point, such a ruling would not impact the finding of probable cause for this warrant. But it's Bryan's dad's DNA that they're talking about here. I'm not going to read through all that. We're just going to go to their inventory sheet. This is just crazy. Oh, and also in other news, there was a response in the media lawsuit that Bryan Kohberger, I think till March 3rd, he has until March 3rd and he can write up to 20 pages explaining why the media should not get the information, why the gag order should not be lifted. So like I said, the judge said he can do that in writing. He has to have it to the judge by March 3rd, and he can write up to 20 pages. Okay, so what we got in Washington was one Night-Rite type black glove, a Walmart receipt with one Dickies tag, 2 Marshall's receipts. So we have Arizona is bought at JCPenney. They don't sell Arizona anywhere else. That's JCPenney brand. We have Under Armour, which could be bought at Marshall's. But the Dickies, they did not find any Dickies in Pennsylvania. They did take the dust container from the Bissell Power Force, 8 possible hair strands, 1 fire stick, a possible animal hair strand, and then 3 possible hairs, and then 1 possible hair strand. So I guess the difference between a strand and the hair is the follicle. 1 computer tower, 1 collection of dark red spot. 1 collection of dark red spot. I mean, okay. 2 cuttings. What was the dark red spot from? 1 collection of dark red spot collected without testing. What was it on? 2 cuttings from uncased pillow of reddish brown stain, larger stain tested. So was that the dark red spot was on the pillowcase? 2 top and bottom of mattress cover packaged separately. Multiple stains. 1 tested. What was it tested for? Blood? Then if I mean, you compare this to the other one that we just read. It's not like damning. No wonder he's looking forward to being exonerated. So now on this one, we have the silver flashlight, the gloves, the Arizona shirt, but we don't have a list of anything else seized. So where is that? Serpentine, I also had an issue with the word placed when the original PCA mentioned the sheath. Did they say placed? Yeah, I know. I'm just poking fun at the flashlights, really. I mean, there could be something on them that is a clue. I'm going back. I want to see where that sheath is mentioned again. Placed? I thought they said they observed a sheath on the right side of Mogan. As I entered this room, I could see two females in the single bed in the room. Both Gonsalves and Mogan were deceased with visible stab wounds. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewed from the door. I don't see anything about placed. The sheath was later processed and had K-bar UCMC and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA on the left button snap of the knife sheath. I don't see placed. Where do you see placed? It just says I also later noticed, unless it's in the other. Bye, Mike Sander. Have a good night. Oh, it's probably the other cop. I forgot there's Payne and the other guy. And you know, you guys, this is bare bones. So that's why I don't know why everyone's saying like, oh, this is such a wonderful, like this PCA is so great. I don't understand why they're saying that. Okay, I'm going to have to do that, Christopher. I'm going to have to look at these side by side. I'm not going to do it tonight. I've already been on here for 2 hours, but I could see where maybe their wording is different, right? Between the two officers. All right, well, that is that. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening and walking me through that. Later could mean after he noticed the bodies, he noticed the sheath, or maybe it was pointed out to him. How could you not notice? See, what I'm wondering is, was that sheath red? Like, if they bled out, was it red? And was there, like, is that why they didn't see it? Because it blent in? I don't know. And this is what I was thinking, is that if you think about it, like, if we look at that sheath and you look at the button, like a snap underneath, like that, if it was the underside of that snap would have been protected from any blood or anything contaminating it, right? So if it was like right side up, the underside of that button would be protected. And if there was DNA in there, it wouldn't get bloody, right? I mean, that's what I was thinking. So, but but we're left with more questions than answers. So I think that the PCA like is supposed to tell a story. I don't think it tells a great story at all. You can't do what? What's NSEW? I'll do a live tomorrow and we'll do side by sides tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We'll do a live tomorrow and we'll do side by sides of both PCAs. And then that way we can notate each difference. How about that? That way everybody go eat dinner, go watch Murdaugh crap, and clear your minds of this case. It is just, it's crazy. And you're not going to figure it out tonight. We're not going to figure it out tomorrow. But we will look at those side by side tomorrow. Okay? Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Peace. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, and that's it. We're going to wrap this up. Dance it out.
Wake up.
Wake up.
I flashed and said, wow, pretty far out.
I like my new sound bites. I wanted to share a couple of them with you. We've got, of course, this one. That's not really new.
Somebody in Washington with more than 5 brain cells needs to listen to this. Well, maybe I have 5 brain cells.
That's my favorite, guys. We're
brain cells.
gonna end with this.
For donuts.
All right, have a good night, y'all. Dance it out. Stay safe.
For donuts.
I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a
Yeah, you've really opened up my eyes.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
For donuts.
I don't give a damn. You wanna be, you wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the I ain't got time. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping like but I'll never call you.
You'll see J again, my friend.
Ain't got time.
In the name of Jesus, Father God, Lord,